Islam. Welcome back to the Moor Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Brother Tashan Edwards Bey, and I'm here back with my co-host, Brother Sharif Bey, the Sheriff, Elder Sheik, and Brother Najee Bey. Islam, welcome back.
Islam.
Islam. Before we go too much further, I just want to greet everybody with peace. Islam, Assalamu alaikum, Ayonio Alafia, Shalom, Hotep, Rahu Bat, Namaste. It all means peace, Islam, and in true Moorish fashion, we also...
Namaste means to God and me honors to God and you.
I am that I am, Islam. Islam, Mo. And also...
Krishna means save me, black God.
Krishna, the Indian, Hindu
I studied
God.
I studied. I'm studying this week.
Islam. And also in true Moorish fashion, true Moorish tradition, we just want to give our praises and honors today. Islam, Elder Sheik, would you like to start with your praises and honors?
Yes, I would like to rise in an eternal circle of light, giving all divine perfect praise to Allah, and honor to his holy divine prophet, Noble Dry Lake, and honor to the forerunner of the prophet, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and honor to Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad, and honor to Emiliel, and high honors to Jay Givenshill, and high honors to Sidney Rossonell, the Magi priest, sage master. High honors to Melchizedek, Godman Day, Jerome Graham Bay. High honors to the Nazarene Alael. High honor to the Master Adat Hamid Andersonell. High honor to Timothy Dinglell, also known as Noble Drawley reincarnated, and his other half, Mother Ruth, Mother Wisdom, Grand Noblest, Grand Prophetess, Louise Dinglell. High honor to the daughter Diane Dinglell. High honor to the Grand Secretary Margaret Thompson Bay. High honor to our Supreme Grand Sheik Robert Stonewall. High honor to his assistant Robert Pagel, and assistant Grand Governor Shimel, and high honor to Governor J. Howard Bay. High honor to all the Moors out there under the sound of my voice. High honors to the Nation of Islam. High honor to UNIA. High honor to everybody that's involved with this uplifting work for fallen humanity. Peace.
Islam.
Islam.
Go ahead, Brother Najee.
I like to give high honors to the universe and to universal knowledge that not consciousness fell upon us here on this plane, that the only portal to this plane is through a woman's womb. I like to give high honors to all the virtuous women and all the women that they may find their way in true path to righteousness and their higher self. And I like to give honors to all those who are helping uplift fallen humanity. Peace.
Islam. I like to rise in the spirit of the seven and give all praises to Allah and high honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, high honors to the forerunner Marcus Messiah Garvey, high honors to all past and present leadership of the Moorish Temple of America, and high honors to all true and divine prophets of Allah that stand on the square of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. High honors to all Moors worldwide, known and unknown. Islam. High honors to my daughter, my seed, Islam, right in front of me. Islam. High honors to all of our ancestors, everybody that paved the way for us to be here. Islam. We're back. Episode 33.
Special high honors to my son who passed for him with the ancestor. He inspires me to keep moving out. Peace. Malachi Bay.
Islam. He's still an inspiration to me. I still speak about the Mo Man's kicks. Mm-hmm. Man, I listen. I will continue to honor him and cherish the memories I have with him, even though there weren't that many. The martial arts demonstrations we did together, man, that was very powerful. And once again, his kicks, I would never forget. I would never forget the way he stretched up and he performed those kicks. So I take that very seriously, and high honors to that, Mo, as well. Islam, thank you, Mo, for that. Episode 33 in Supreme Mathematics, that is understanding. Islam. Just want to get that off.
Islam.
So, if you don't know, we have projector TV here. This is a little bit different of an episode. We're gonna have we have some videos to play throughout the week. You shared some videos that were very, very interesting, and is good to share, and it gives us some topics to spring off of. So, do you want to just go ahead and just start with that first video we had queued up?
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
I like to start off doing some critical thinking and logic, and I always share about how in the Holy Quran, when it said that I will create a vicegerent on earth, and Allah told the angels, I will create a vicegerent on earth, and the angel said, "Will you create one who would make mischief while we celebrate shit? Will you create one who would make mischief and shed blood while we celebrate thy praises?" And he said, I know what you know not. So then he said, bow down to Iblis. Told the angels, bow down to Iblis. And he told the angels to bow down to Adam. Iblis refused. And Iblis said, I'm not bowing down to that chump. I was made of scorching winds. And he was made of clay. You know, Adam means black mud. So Allah said, get out here, you rejected one. And he prayed, so Allah grant me respite. Allah granted me respite. He said, very well, I will stand in the straight way, which is religion. All different religions. I will come from their left, right, before them, behind them, and ambush them. You will find most of them ungrateful. So again, he comes through anger, passions, sex, all that crazy stuff, firewood and so forth, anything that is drawn off our square. Now, if you know, if he came from the left, right before you, before he came left or right before you, it was a cross. Shaitan put us on a cross, and then he ambushed us. And then it came up, you know, the Crusades is an ongoing battle. Muslims, and the Muslims mainly, but Muslims against the Catholic Church like King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella, Columbus, so forth and so on. So we were ambushed, and we were took it off our deen. And a lot of people don't visualize that like I'm telling it from me reading the Quran. You can see it real clear because everywhere they go, they keep stealing land. And so as Elijah Muhammad said, the message of black man, Babylon the Great has fallen. Come out of it, my people. Be not partakers of sin, right? And so we have to watch who we associate ourselves with. Because we walk on the same path. A lot of us walk on the same path that all the prophets walked on before us when we are on our deen. So we have to really watch that so we can come to the elevated places. Come back in the elevated state of mind, like it says, let not the evil one, Quran says, let not the evil one cause you to slip, as he caused your parents to slip in the garden. Let not him take off your garments of righteousness, for he swore to you. He was your sincere advisor, but to you, he's an open enemy. For him and his tribe sit in a position where you cannot see him. Then it said, then did Shaitan cause them to slip from the state of mind that they were in the garden of felicity. We slipped down our lower self. And a lot of us slipped down in that path we on the cross and stuff. We don't know what divine knowledge is, to be at one with Allah, because he's closer to us than the jugular vein. So as we go forth in this life, we can walk on the same path that all the prophets and the messengers walked before us. And Shaitan got to split Islam.
Islam. You have something to say on that, Najee, or do you want me to just jump in?
We could go right into it.
All right. Mo, just watch your head.
Yes,
we're gonna have.
We had to wake up and come in spiritual retreat because a lot was taken away from us, and leadership got to start changing their teaching and stuff because we got what we want. I mean, it's right before us. All we got to do is open up our eyes. Because when Jesus was here, he came and healed the blind and the deaf, right? Spiritually blind, spiritually deaf. And a lot of us are spiritually blind and spiritually deaf, and we can't see what's really been happening. They know what's happening. Those who oppress you, those who got you on the cross. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Come off the cross and form under one crescent." That's what we got to do. Get off the cross. That's a powerful command.
That's documented.
Go ahead.
It was determined by the world courts that the Black people here, or African American people here, most of them did not come from slave ships. They're not from Africa. They originated from here, which is Turtle Island, or the land of the Moors, Mours, also known as Amorica or America, and that they had to have their land restored, their identification restored, and their wealth restored. And not only the copper-colored races here, look up the Webster's definition for American. 1828, Webster's definition for American is the copper-colored races found here by Christopher Columbus, but now applied to Europeans. So it was determined by the world courts that Bertie Austin, L. Turner Bay won her claim in the amount of $85 quadrillion, and that when the United States Incorporated is dismantled, all of the Moors, the so-called Black races, copper-colored races, African-American, Negroid people here will be paid out. That's documented.
All right.
And not only that, they stole our identity. What they call themselves, the Americans or the Mayors. That's where that came from, the Mayors, the Moors, the Mayors. They saying they're American. So, and then they not only identity, they stole our property. Islam.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I heard. We mentioned Brother Sabir Bey before. Something I've heard him say that I will always make sure I repeat while we're in this situation is that more than reparations, we need reclamation. We need to reclaim what is ours. There's more than just repairing that needs to be had. It needs to be a reclaiming. Which, like the sister just said, this is our land. So that's what we need.
We got pirates running on our land, practicing law.
Well, like the Bible say, they steal, they kill, and they destroy. The United States is operating here as a nonprofit religious group, corporation. There's 12 families, and they're bloodline families, and they came over here under the Vatican, and it started off with Isabella and Ferdinand, and they came here to America, and the Vatican, because like I told you, they send the missionaries in first. The Vatican sent in their missionaries, and they raised the army, and they overthrew our government. But there's 12 families and bloodlines that lead all the way back to that time, and that's who hijacked our government and our land. They stole our land, they stole our identity, and they stole all the resources from us. And that's the reason why, if everybody is wondering why they kept us down, is because we are the ones who created civilization from the beginning. This is the most ancient land in the world right here. This is the first land, not Africa. They destroyed the history. They destroyed the information. They put artifacts on ships and sent them out in the ocean, and they bombed the ships and sunk them. They did all this just so you wouldn't know how great you are. But we are the greatest people on this earth. We are the inventors. We are the architects. We are the scientists. We are the genealogists. We are I am on this earth. So remember how great you are, and take that as pride and walk around with your head held high, and let these people know. Speak up and say something. Whenever you hear these people, these Caucasians talking or saying anything, let them know that you're not black, you're not Negro, you're not colored. You're the most ancient people on this planet. You created them, and you created them from a primate, the Neanderthal, which is part of the monkey family. We created the monkeys too, but if you cut the monkey's hair off, he's Caucasian. Slit lips, Caucasian. big giant ears, Caucasian. Not you. Don't let them fool you with that scam talking about you monkey and this and that and making all kind of monkey sounds, because it's them that when January 6th happened that was climbing up the walls on January 6th. And if you look, pan over a little bit with the camera, it's steps right there. So do you see us doing that? Do you see us leaving feces and urine on people's desks? Who thinks like that? Who lives like that? And who else, far as anything else, makes weapons of mass destruction to destroy humanity? These people are the biggest threat to humanity, and the laws are in place, and treaties are in place for us to take back our land and take back our world, not just our country, but the whole world, because you got the power.
And when he said our land, that's the almanac, that's the Mayan Empire, that's when the Marine Corps sink to the halls of Montezuma, to the shores of Tripoli, all of that. Because this is ancient. We are the mound builders. And so when you see them, the people of the other order, the Albions wearing this fez, that represents the mound. So this inside this fez is your temple. That's sacred. Side of your head you call it temple. That's the dome. Your heart is your altar. So the kingdom of heaven's within. And you want to purify that. And you want to let Allah use you and walk with you and talk with you and be a good example for the uplifting of fallen humanity, because humanity is real low. Like the Moorish Quran says, 1 minute of God, the next below a worm. So, leadership is real important. I took a course in college called Leadership and Conflict Resolution. So we had to find a resolution to the conflicts what's going on now, because when you look at the people in America today, they're below the worm. I used to read that in Moorish Quran all the time. 1 minute God, next below the worm. All these leaders, politicians, and different other people, just a few leaders are upright, focused leaders like Minister Louis Farrakhan and other people. They're upright. They got the light of Allah in them. And a lot of ministers, some Christians got that light, but the light's fading. 1 minute God, the next below a worm. But they're not leading us where we need to go, because everybody's trying to invite us into what this crazy stuff. Like the Holy Quran says, Satan makes things fair seeming. So now through the Doctrine of Discovery, they came over here, and their agenda was to make the slaves all Christians, so forth and so on. So, and it's still going on, because they're going all over the world trying to justify stealing people's treasures. Greed. So the true people out there are really for uplifting humanity, have to let Allah live within them, come to light with them, and bring peace to the world. Jesus was a Muslim. It says, Islam means peace. That's the Arabic. You say as-salam. His order was peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Yep.
Who can challenge me with that? Even though they try to bring confusion and say he wasn't, he spoke it right up out of his mouth. Islam.
Islam.
Yes, and if you check out and do your research on the ancient trade routes, you will notice that the Powhatan Indians of the Virginia area are on the trade routes that we were trading on these trade routes with Africa, with Europe, with all Asia, with all these different countries. We was trading the civilized world thousands of years before the Caucasian ever came onto this earth. So therefore, that's a bit of your history to look and find out and see that we are the most ancient people on this land. And we're also the Moors, the Moors. That's MUUR-S.
As in America.
Yeah. and the Moors was from America. The Moors were from northern Africa that embraced our science as we traded with Africa and these other countries. But the Moors were the ones who went to Spain and ruled over Spain. And at the time, then they met up and were doing business with the Moors. But here was the royal Moors here. The royal kingdom was here in America, the Moors. That's where America comes from, the Moors. So we had to do our research, and we had to find out these laws and these treaties that free you from what they created called a straw man. See, they have a SESQV trust, but there were 3 SESQV trusts. There was one for the human, there was one for property, and then there was one for the estical, what is it called? Elastical. Ecclesiastical property. And that's your spiritual property. And that means that when you look at the word born, they spell it B-O-R-N-E. Born, the etymology of born, the term that they use in the SESQV is ecclesiastical trust. All 3 of these are trusts. A constructive trust that they created, and that's why your name comes in the capital letters. If you look at the word born, that means the production of you, the 9 months of you in the womb. But our parents didn't know that when they signed these contracts and they signed you over to these artificial entities and these corporations, which are called states. But remember, each one of these states are private corporations. They're not states as if what they're trying to make you think. These are private foreign corporations. These are foreigners on our land operating as a religious nonprofit trust corporation. So we have to break the spells and break these contracts and start claiming things, because the only way you can get out of these contracts is making declarations and claims on your lands, so that you can put them on notice that they no longer are in control of anything, that this is our land, they're foreigners, and they've been paying the wrong landlord. It's time for all these corporations, these businesses, to start paying us.
And when they talk about Adam, Eve ate the fruit in the Garden of Eden, that was they ate the fruit of their desires in their body. We got to stop eating the fruit of desires and conquer our desires, so we can come up to the higher plane, so we can see again. That's how Jesus healed the blind. He brought them from darkness to marvelous light, so they could see. They have vision. A lot of us civil elite don't have no vision. And if you don't have no vision, you don't have no future. So people the parasites eat off us to keep us in dark, so we can't see the future. Peace.
And so that they can get rich off of our labor. And that's what they're doing. That's why each person they went to war with, these corporations, invited other corporations into our land and to get rich and help wealthy off of our people, and to generate a what is it called when you're going on and on and on? Wealth. Generational wealth for their people. And while we're creating wealth for them with these corner stores, these pagan holidays and all these things, we're making them rich. And you're putting their kids through college, and you can't even put your own child through college. So boycott all their things and only get the necessities that you need.
Even with the ambush, with the Doctrine of Discovery, they putting us in the ghetto. That was a military strategy. Cut off our wealth. Yeah. So, but a lot black part, we can go above that into elevated places. That's why you got to get your heart right. Holy Quran says never does allow change conditions of a people till they change with their heart. So this is the grand resurrection. This day of resurrection, we got to change our heart. If you don't change your heart, you're gonna be left behind. It's like when Honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about the message of black man, come out of her, my people. That was a serious call. Because where these people are on at now, you see politics is opening up the door of hell. They gone down in it fast. They gone into hell fast. So we here to help you save yourself. Let them go.
Islam.
Allah got our back. Islam.
So real quick, I'm curious. I don't want to go off topic at all. But it's on topic, but it's Kwanzaa. So I'm curious your brother's thoughts on that, and is that something? Is that a tool we should be using to come up?
I'm not into that.
No, we shouldn't be using any of that. And that's all these things are man-made.
Of course.
Man-made creations. The Moors, the Moors, let me correct that. The Moors, we practiced magic, actually. And what happened was we gave them some of the sciences, some of the dirty Moors that sold our people out, gave them some of our sciences. And that's what they're doing, using on you now when I say that they're using sorcery and witchcraft on you. And they're using it in the terms of language. They're using it in the terms of grammar. So you have the divine powers. You still have the divine powers your ancestors have. You just didn't know. As I said, lift yourself up to a certain frequency, and then you can access these powers. But until you know thyself and know who you are and who the creator is, then you'll never get to that point to be able to use these divine powers. But those who can, use them against our enemies.
And when
Make
you get to
these
that certain
people,
frequency,
these district attorneys and these judges have aneurysms and heart attacks because you can do that.
when you get that certain frequency that you're talking about, if they mess with you, they become electrocuted.
That's right. And you make them have heart attacks and aneurysms because, see, we're at war here. They've been at war with us since the Crusades. The Crusades never stopped, y'all. They're still going at it, and they're still using the same tactics. So use your powers. You'll be surprised what you're able to do, those who are already there. But just use it on them because these people are terrorists.
Come and harm me with the elements.
They're degenerate terrorists, genocidal maniacs, and they'll stop at nothing. And we're the only people on the planet that can stop them because we're the ones that created all this. So we even created them. So let's put our minds together and stay focused and use that divine power to stop our enemies in their tracks.
We didn't come here to follow Shaitan into hell. We come here to exalt and praise the name of Allah. This is a new day. We got to come forth with that. Don't be afraid, because that's what they don't want you to do. That's why we're constantly being oppressed.
And remember, it's not all of them. So there are ones who's putting this a lot of them are putting this information out here that y'all don't even have. So it's not all of them. It's the ones that we like to call white supremacy. And I hate using that term because nothing supremacy about them. As you can see, how far they went to try to keep this information and to keep everything from us. That's not superior. That's fragility. The white man, the Caucasian rather, not white man, stop calling him white, has an inferiority complex, and greed, which will destroy him because you only can fuel yourself with so much hate, and then it spills out. So whoever you next to, and 75% of them never met or been in contact with our people, to believe it or not. So it's going to spew out on themselves. So they'll destroy themselves. But at the meantime, we have to get ourselves together with love, with understanding, with accountability, and with responsibility.
And when you're on the right frequency and stuff, you ain't even got time to really think about them, because these the people try to open the gate to hell, the pit, so you can fall in. So we had to be swift to get up out of this. Allah will deal with them. Allah will take care of them. The ones that look like us too.
That's right.
He created a nation of good jinn and a nation of bad jinn. It's a lot of them look like us, got to be dealt with. You know, it's all about elevation. You know, that's where you get the true therapy out. You know, that's real therapeutic for you to help you to live, and it washes away all that crazy stuff, problems you be going through, because they have out there, they have psychologists and psychiatrists and so forth and so on. But you don't think a lot of these leaders around this world are psychopathic? When I look at what Allah sent us through the Bible and the Quran, his representatives, they were upright. They weren't running to and fro. Now, all I'm seeing around here, the people that call themselves leaders, most leaders, they're going to and fro and trying to justify it. And so it's so confused that when you try to search out for manhood from people all walks of life, they in doubt. You know, they say, we indebted to China, so forth. How much they owe us for 400 years?
So
What about what about our debt? And what about you on private property? So they keep igniting fires with the tongue, like James Street say. This property is private. And we were commanded, come out of her, my people, be not partakers of her sins. Those who want to live right, obey Allah, obey God, as you call them, of your understanding, be righteous, no problem.
And remember,
we can live on earth in peace. This could be utopia. But go ahead.
And remember that flag, that's not our flag. That's a military flag, especially when you go into these corporations, because they're private corporations and they really don't have any jurisdiction over you. You give them permission. That's why at the end of every sentencing, they ask you, do you understand these charges? The charges, when you say yes, that means you standing under the charges that they have given you. So always remember that never anybody that pledges allegiance to that flag,
With the
that
gold
wartime
fringes.
flag with the gold fringes on it, or any of their flags. United States is a separate country. It's never been part of America. It's not part of you. You're the only Americans in America. So stop pledging allegiance to these people, these terrorists.
And that Confederate flag. That
And
Confederate
remember,
flag.
the Confederate flag
It's
is our
ours.
flag.
They
It's
tricked
our
you.
flag. Actually, they put an X on it, but the flag of ours is red. The thing is, and the other flag that we had
But
was
you know,
a cherry
notice,
tree.
you notice
That's
how,
why
you
they
notice
said,
how
hold on
that
a
looked
second,
like,
Mo. Hold on a
England?
second, Mo. The other flag we had was a cherry tree, white flag with a cherry tree on it. And that's why they say George Washington chopped down the cherry tree. In the military, chopping means to lower the flag. That's when he lowered our flag and raised their flag. So remember, anybody that takes an oath to that flag or pledge allegiance to that flag, and all these people who are supposed to be so-called representatives, that's part of the United States. You notice they go to Washington, D.C., because Washington, D.C. is not part of America. They are traitors to our people. They are traitors, and they are the enemy. Anybody from Washington, D.C. that operates for the United States government is part of the white supremacy terrorist organization.
And the House Negroes, too.
And them too. And them too, all of them. It's no excuses. You notice we never get anywhere unless we do it ourselves from the grassroots. These people are putting away so that they can stop us from advancing and making any kind of achievements, because they fear you, and you're the only person on the earth that they fear. Like a white European Caucasian told me one time, he said, everybody is trying to be like Caucasians, but the Caucasians is trying to be like the indigenous people, us.
But ain't that deep that the Confederate flag and the flag of England look just alike?
The Confederate flag and the
For the flag of England, they look just alike. The one they call the racist flag looks just like the flag of England.
Well,
The flag they told take down, and it's really our flag, right? But the flag they told, because we were the original rulers of England too.
Islam.
We're the true Europeans.
Islam.
We're the true Europeans. All that
Yeah, that was the Jamaldi people,
Mhm.
and they look like us. So
Mhm.
if they say you have European in you, don't think that you got Caucasian, because that's not it. The Caucasian is not indigenous to no land. If you go to any land, you could go to
The Caucasian,
Wassa Bassa at the end of the Wooba Booba, and
the,
it's going to
Cauca-
be
the
us standing
Caucasian,
there,
the Caucasian is not a European.
us standing there to greet you. So
Interesting.
that's right, because the Caucasian don't have any land. They don't come from any land. So always remember that. They came from us. We created them. They're not indigenous to any land. They have what you call a DNA land scale, where they know everything that's in the dirt is in you, is in your body.
Hmm.
Nothing, they are not a match for any DNA land scale anywhere in the world. No land has their makeup in them. No land.
That's why they taking the DNA test in Israel, what they call the Israel, right?
Well, it's
The
illegal in
location of
Israel.
huh?
It's illegal to take a DNA test in
Right.
Israel.
Because if you take the DNA test, it's gonna come up the land you're from.
That
If
they're
you're from
Caucasians, right?
Poland, that's gonna come up Poland. You're from Russia, it's
Poland
gonna come up
and
Russia.
Turkey. That's what these people are. They're not the Israelis. Don't believe it. These are people from Brooklyn and New Jersey that went over there and claiming to be Jews. That's why they say Jewish. They wish they were. But the original Jews, well, Hebrews, look like us. Jew word was a slang because we would only trade or deal with our own people.
Not only that, the language we speak is not English; it's Hebrew.
It's Hebrew. Yeah, we
speaking
spoke
English.
Hebrew.
We're speaking Hebrew now.
That's right. But they done put all these falseries and lies into your mind and indoctrinations, because that's what their schools are, indoctrination centers. These people, the whole history that they told you is nothing but a lie. Because we are the Olmecs, we are the Mayans, we are the Mu, people of Mu, we are the Atlanteans, we are Lemurians, we are the any ancient people that you can find or think of.
Lemurians,
That was us, because
Lemurians, that ancient god race.
we are the original people. So the Tatarians, that's us. And a lot of these buildings
Temarians.
are still here. A lot of these buildings are still here.
Every time you go in one of them big rock churches and stuff, they look, real big, pretty rocks, giant boulders like that. You're in the Moorish castle. They changed them from churches. The Moorish castle made them into churches.
Yeah, because they're on energy points. So a lot of these places are energy points. And a lot of if you see a lot of the ancient architect,
And the
is they put buildings, they put their bureaucracies and their buildings, agencies in these buildings to collect energy from us,
And
to
the
collect energy from the earth.
And the preachers know it. That's why a lot of times you go to church, you see the preacher's chair, and a chair over here, chair that look like thrones, and it's the preacher back like he's the Lion tribe of Judah.
Yeah, and they're phonies. All these people are in cahoots to try to keep us down and keep us from realizing and recognizing how great we really are. So don't feed into none of this stuff. Do your own research, and you'll be amazed what you find, because it's all out there now. And I know they are really upset about this, because things are coming out that I know a lot, but I'm learning more and new stuff
But
myself.
they made the world a sick place, because at one time I really did believe in a lot of leadership in America at one time when I was young, right? But as I got older, it become more and more corrupt. And they always excluding us, and we're the true landlords of this land.
Right.
They invite everybody else to over here, so diversity means divide. So they can forget about the civil rights problem. With the civil rights problem, it started off with civil rights, then it turned into gay rights.
But now we're fighting for human rights.
The human rights are already always been there, right?
Yeah, that's what we're fighting for.
We always been fighting for that.
No, we wasn't. We was fighting for civil
ever
rights.
since I've been That's when Malcolm was going to take them. Didn't you hear about that? When Malcolm was going to
Yeah,
take
he
them.
was going to when he came
Yep,
back
yep,
from Mecca for
yep.
human rights, but civil rights always been here, but
Civil rights
have
is
not.
for, then you got military, then you got civil. Civil rights basically for the civilians, so forth and so on. But being a role model, an example in life is very important for the children, because a lot of people going to hell, and you don't want your children lead your children down that path. It's a lot of time for a lot of people out there to check themselves before they wreck themselves. And so you might have planned for somebody else. Holy Quran say man-made plan, but Allah is the best of planners.
Yeah, but remember, heaven and hell is a state of mind. It's not
It's
a
a
place.
real, it's a real place. I've been there. You can say state. I've been in that state of mind. I went through them. I went through them doors.
Yeah, but
So-
you've been there in the state of mind.
No, the hereafter is real. I went to Mecca. I know what I seen.
I know, but I died, brother.
Yeah,
I died
too.
before.
I died too.
But
I died too. I'm
okay.
not going to take away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But I
you
know-
can keep your.
I know when I die. Hold on, let me say this, bro.
Let me say this. You can keep your heaven and let my heaven be mine. So
Well, you can have
Right.
that. But what I'm saying is, when you die, when this dies, the flesh is no more useful to you. It's not like what you think it is. And you're coming right back here all over again. You might be stuck in a place called purgatory for a while, but other than that, you're coming right back here. And heaven and hell is a state of
yeah,
mind.
but the state.
Some days you feel like
right,
you're
that's
living
right,
in
that's
heaven.
Right.
Okay, brother.
That's right. But
Some days you feel like you're in heaven,
You're running away.
and some days you feel like you're in hell. But it's not a
I'll get
place.
somewhere. The path is real.
Yeah, but it's
you
not
watch
a place.
and you listen to the life, because the path is the same as it was when the prophet was here. So when you watch, words have power. Electricity, there's power in heaven. I've been there. So only chosen people can go there. And you got to have a state of mind. That's common sense. The hereafter is real. The afterlife's real. The afterlife was real way before you got here. The ancestors spoke on the afterlife. What's the difference between the afterlife and heaven, Mo?
Yeah, but the thing is, the afterlife in heaven.
Yeah, what's the difference between the afterlife and heaven?
What you mean the afterlife in heaven?
Yeah, in Egypt they say afterlife, we say hereafter, right? What's the difference between that and heaven?
There's no. As far as you, that's your language.
No, I'm talking about.
That's your language,
I'm
brother.
talking
That heaven and hell is your language.
I'm talking
It's
about.
not my
I didn't say
language.
that. I said hereafter.
Well, that's your heaven and hell
No.
is your language. It's not my language.
What is the hereafter?
So I don't know anything about what you're talking
What is the hereafter?
about. I don't know anything about
You
what you're
can't
talking
define
about.
the hereafter.
The hereafter.
Yes. What is the hereafter?
I know I'm here after I die. That's my hereafter. So your hereafter might be something different.
I'm talking about the vision, because I have a vision.
Well-
I travel to the hereafter. I travel.
We all travel when you sleep. You travel.
When the Prophet Muhammad,
That's called astral
when the Prophet Muhammad on the night of power, he traveled to the seven.
But I'm
seven-
talking about you.
No,
not
I'm talking
Prophet
about. I
Muhammad.
travel to the heavens
Well,
when I fast.
okay then, but talk about you.
I'm talking about.
Prophet Muhammad.
I'm not gonna deny.
can't speak
I'm not.
for
No,
him.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna tell people to fast and
But
pray.
you can't speak for him.
No, I'm speaking for me.
Yeah, well, speak for
Let
you.
me speak for me.
Well, so I'm letting you.
Fast and pray and go into your inner self, and then you can see heaven, because heaven's within.
Okay, well, that's good.
So
That's
that's where we should. That's why we fast.
I know the
fast
Creator
so we can be
is
strong.
within us. I know the Creator is within us because we are the
Watch
creation.
people's frequencies and how they talk.
But
The-
all that
the-
spookism
the-
about
no
heaven and
spookism.
hell and all that, I'm not with that.
The kingdom
I'm
of
not
heaven's
with
within. And watch, when you walk around down the path, watch who you meet. Because a lot of people can't go to elevated places. I'm not even talking about the heavens. I'm talking about the elevated places. Some people's cold-blooded in the muck. The muck is real. Some people's in the poop. They don't know how to get up out of poop or the shit.
They know. It's a choice. It's a choice.
That's where the so-called black man is today. He ain't
Where
in
do you-
heaven. He's in the poop. All of Elijah said, I'll put you in heaven at once. It is a state of mind. But a lot of us is in the poop. That's what the resurrection day is about.
But we choose to be in the poop.
I don't choose to be in the poop.
Well, that's not you, but
Yeah.
other people choose to be.
Tell me heaven ain't
Like,
real.
look, you know what we used to call the
I can walk
Caucasians?
out Islam. I can walk out in Wilmington, Delaware, and see hell. You're damn
you
right
know
it's
what?
a state of mind. Because it's a state of mind created by the devil. All around Wilmington, Delaware is hell. When I walk into a better life because Allah helped me create that heaven and that better life for me. He showed me the blueprints by being obedient. Disobedience can cause you to go to hell.
Well, the thing is, when speaking about poop, the when we first came in contact with the Caucasian, and when we started after we gave them 33 degrees of knowledge, they used to poop and pee in their clothing. And they would come to meetings and everything, and we would call them the poopy party. They were called the poopy party. And that's why we always burnt incense and myrrhs all the time.
That's where the sage came from. You need to sage the place up.
That's right. We had to sage it up because they were the poopy people. They used to poop and pee on themselves and come, and walk around like it was nothing. Just like in my research, I found out why the Three Musketeers. Remember the Three Musketeers? And that book was written by who, Mo?
I don't know.
Okay, that Three Musketeers, that book was written by a brother. The Three Musketeers, I was reading something a long time ago in the GQ magazine, matter of fact. And when I was younger, and in that GQ magazine, I was always wondering why they would say a man had to walk on the outside and the woman had to walk on the inside. And I'm saying to myself, hold it. If a truck hits you, it's going to kill you and the woman. You're not going to stop a truck, right? Mm-hmm. So come to find out, the reason why that whole saying and the reason why the Three Musketeers would wear them big giant brims. You see them big giant, and Mexicans.
Because they would dump the trash and stuff
They
out
were
the
dumping
windows.
Poop and urine. They would just throw it out the window. The Thames River was so polluted that they would only drink alcohol. They couldn't drink the water, so they drank alcohol. That's why a lot of these people are genetically alcoholics. But the whole thing was the hats were like that because they were throwing poop and pee outside the windows, and they would make the woman walk on the inside. Now, a lot of their practice is homosexuality. That's why they say you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. They done took the woman out of the whole equation. And we know we had always had a matriarch society. The patriarch society came here with Christianity. It wasn't here, not on our lands. We had a matriarch society. We took care of the women. And we always had a queen. But all these things tie in together about the fashion and the way they treated women and their unsanitary habits that they had. These were dirty, disgusting people. And until today, they're still dirty, degenerate people. But their whole thing is a projection and try to make you think you're less than. But you are the most honorable people on this earth. You just got to clean yourself up and get back to where you were standing upright and stand on your square.
Islam, when you get a chance, you look up the ascension, right? And the meaning of that, right? Because,
The ascension?
Yeah, what I was tapping on is real. I know what people say certain things. And a lot of us, when we're in the right state of mind, we can ascend. If you ain't in the right state of mind, you can't ascend. You stay locked in this prison.
Islam. The ascension refers primarily to the Christian belief that Jesus Christ physically
I'm
ascended.
not talking about that.
Okay. That's interesting, though, because as soon as you type in the ascension, the very first thing they give you, we got to...
A lot of their religion they stole from us.
Because I didn't type in Christian. I didn't type in anything. All I typed in was the ascension.
Because that's their
and it's like the very first thing.
A lot of stuff they stole from us, right?
Islam.
But the ascension, didn't have nothing to do with Christianity when Prophet Muhammad went on his journey, right?
Okay.
The ascension, right? And
like
rode on a baroque, right? You know what a baroque is?
I've heard of Baroque music, but no.
The horse with the white wings.
Oh, okay.
and traveled in the seven
That's
heavens.
the logo for one of the movie companies, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He traveled in
Yeah.
he traveled in
Yeah.
the seven galactic heavens.
Like Ecclesiastic.
Because the seven galactic heavens is before us, right? We travel in them. Oh, I travel in them all the time.
Islam.
Moors might say travel on the ether and so forth and so on, but the galactic heavens are real. Or like the Quran says, the seven visible path roads before us.
Yeah, and most of their laws are ecclesiastic and comes from ecclesiastics and things like that. Like the whole term, like Christmas, for instance. Let's take Christmas, for instance. Christmas, they tell you that God, Jesus, was born on the 25th. He wasn't born on the 25th. Well, Yahshua wasn't born, but this make-believe God that they created in their image, what it's really referring to is that Jesus was born on the 25th. The 25th is the shortest day in the according to the shortest day as far as winter, the winter solstice.
Mm-hmm.
It's the shortest day. And 3 days later after that, they say Jesus rose, right? 3 days after that, the sun, because the Bible is called a helio-biblical text. That's what it's the book of the stars. The sun rises back to its normal place 3 days after.
Islam.
And most people don't know that, but that's what it's really all about. It has nothing to do with what they're telling you to do.
Well, where people cross up back to the cross, that a lot of people are caught in two worlds. In the Crusades, a lot of people under the Gregorian calendar, and then some people's under the lunar calendar. I traveled through both of them.
Islam.
So, that Gregorian calendar will definitely put you on a cross and give you a bad state of mind.
Yeah, because you have to navigate. You have to know how to navigate.
Islam.
It's just like some Muslims, they just wait 1 year to practice Ramadan
And that's
stuff
it.
like. Then the rest of the months mean nothing. So,
Right.
so and that ain't good. So people don't read. Reading is freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Reading is deliverance.
And reading
I
is
love reading.
fundamental.
Yep, it says.
Fundamental.
It says in the Holy Quran, Allah says, "Have I give you the gifts of sight, speech, and hearing." We don't exercise that. And like I said, Yahshua, I don't like to use the word Jesus, came to heal the spiritually blind and the spiritually deaf.
That's right.
And a lot of us in a state of civil immortise, that's what's wrong with us.
That's
We
right.
can't see or we can't hear.
And man, that means dead.
So we can't, excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Because we can't see or hear, they step over us. They do anything that they want to do to us. When we begin to see and hear and stuff like that, they'll run.
And like the
That's
brother
right.
says, civili mortus means you're dead when it comes to law. Allah means all law. So remember that.
That's Allah, all law. That's one of your phrases. That's one of your phrases, right?
That's one.
Allah means a lot. Allah's infinite.
That's right.
That's on and on and so on. I don't say things to really throw people off.
Right.
Because I'm dealing with people who's been messed up and beat up psychologically. So when I speak to them and stuff, I got to be very careful, right? How I bring them from darkness into marvelous light. They already been beat up enough.
Islam.
A lot of our people been beat up, and then you learn a little stuff. A lot of people, then our people jump back on them. They beat them up in the temple. They beat them up in the mosque psychologically. That's why you got to study to show yourself approved. When you study, people can't do that. You reverse psychology on them. Didn't Satan swear that he was your sincere advisor? That's what the Quran say. That means you got to watch everybody. Playing like they're your sincere advisor. You better.
So you want to go into the next video now?
Islam. Let's see where we had next. Was this the Caucasian brother? Let's see what he has to say.
All right, Race. We're going to address this again since the inferior people are struggling. Black Americans are the only indigenous people on this land. Melanated people are the only people around the world who are indigenous on every land, no matter their ethnic group. Uncivilized lands all have the same genetic connection, melanated skin with varying shades of brown. And those groups are not connected to Africa, just like Black Americans aren't connected to Africans ethnically. The actual American Indian, known as the Black Americans, are the ethnic group of North America, not descendants of Africans. Let's dismantle the greatest public relations fraud ever committed, the desperate multiracial campaign to erase the true indigenous Black American from this land. There is a coordinated effort, a relentless lie, designed to make Black Americans believe they are a guest in someone else's house. But the unchangeable archaeological and historical truth is that Black Americans are the foundation. They were here first. And by here, I mean the world. Every country. Every strip of land. And they built the civilization that we are all destroying. The lie about Africa is to confuse and mislead so that the theft can keep going on. Black Americans weren't even considered African American until 1988 by Jesse Jackson, a known Cherokee Indian. So they'll pay a Black American leader to lie and sell out while classifying himself correctly despite the lie. If Black Americans came from Africa by boat in the 1600s, America didn't figure this out until 1988? And this isn't just a white lie. This is a lie woven by $5 pretendians, by secret treaties between immigrant groups, by decades of policy and propaganda all aimed at one single goal, convincing the world that the original people of the soil simply do not exist. They have every story in the world about the false history. And then you ask for ship manifest and evidence of ships, and then suddenly they can't produce them. But they could show you evidence of the Titanic hundreds of feet under the ocean. They won't even show you the entirety of the Titanic under the water. Only a corner of this ship. They still parse that history. They have reclassified the true indigenous people, renamed you, and redrawn maps around you, hoping you would forget the land your spirit is made from. Now they deploy their little native influencers online, armed with fraudulent petitions and digital picket signs, begging platforms to remove you from your own story. They are performing a pathetic pantomime of indigeneity. If you are indigenous, why would you need outside help? What are they protecting? If you're truly indigenous Native Americans, how could someone take that from you? Why the sudden panic? Every post they make, every petition they circulate is an admission. You've been caught, and now history will be made. Every other race are the visitors. It is time, Black Americans. Time for you to start acting like the host in your home, because all of this is yours. It is time you start acting like the host.
That's right.
Wow. Okay.
That's a fact.
You want to play the other one though?
Of
You
him?
can play it later. Let's talk.
You had another one.
Which one is that though? We have a couple up here.
All right, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
but
talk.
the thing is conscience. We've been beat up bad. And the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. A workman need not be vain, rightly divided truth. That means you got truth coming from all angles. You got to rightly divide it. Because everybody else saying this, saying that, you got to read and study for yourself so you can be content. Because ain't nobody know it all. When you see somebody act like they know it all, you got to get away from them, you know. But where we are today and stuff is been to the Doctrine of Discovery, what I just talked about, and they still discovering us. We all should be in retreat, spiritual retreat, and we all should focus on getting our land back. And it's all before the law. This is not ego talking. This is not me. It's written. It's right. It's right in the law. We're gonna show you in the future about how you can go to the Bureau of Land Management and do certain things. But you got to be very careful because a lot of people ain't your friend. A lot of our people's into that pimp and using stuff. And I fear a lot. You not fear karma. When I take the advantage or do something wrong to people, I don't do that.
That's why you do your own research and you do your own paperwork, and you'll see. And as you learn, you'll see how many doors are open up for you, and it's a great thing. Like someone had told me the other day, they said, the law is my life. They said the law is your life. And the law is our lives because we are the only natural being, and that's law. That's law. We are the only ones that could give out law because we are the only natural beings on this earth. We are the only ones who's geometrically correct. to do these things because we are the only natural beings on this planet. So we had to remember our position and remember that we are law, order, and honor. That's what we are.
Yeah.
And so we had to be an example for everybody else to see how we step and how we move ourselves because people are watching. And so I'm a representative of you and you're a representative of me. So let's all come correct and do what we got to do and create the energy and the frequency where we can all be on our higher self and we can extinguish the problems that we have together. Peace.
Islam. You got something, Mo?
Yeah, like I was sharing with you earlier about what they did during the Doctrine of Discovery, and we still going through it, and how Shaitan ambushed us as Muslims. That was all part of stealing our land. So now we got to get together and we got to get our land back. That's real important because the land don't belong to them. Noble Drew Ali said, proclaim your nationality. If they proclaim their nationality, it ain't from this land. That means they're foreigners. So we had to iron out our differences and sit down at the table of brotherhood and go after our land.
Islam. Come proclaim your nationality.
Yes. Don't let nobody chump your manhood or your godhood.
Speak out.
That's what people's doing.
Speak
Them
out.
low frequency people. When you get on high frequency, I travel with the angels there. I don't go with all law and stuff like that. I'm traveling with the angels and law, and I'm feeling it. I'm not saying all law, no, I'm feeling it. Law's ministering to my soul. Because when I'm on my higher self, I'm at one with the law. So empathy means you put yourself in other people's shoes, other people's place. And a lot of people out there, they suffering and they need help. And when you see all the way this place is drug infested with all types of people, you're looking right at hell. That ain't no state of mind. That's something created by man. And we got to clean it up like swift angels, Islam.
Islam.
And all law is universal law. The universe has a law and it has an order, just like nature do. That's what all law is.
And whenever I learn in English, I revise it because, I always speak several different languages. I don't get caught over no one different language.
Islam. So I'm glad you brought up the Prophet. I'm going to put this quick image on the screen. Boom. Because January 8th, if you don't know, is Prophet Noble Drew Ali's born day, the day he was born. So that is the Prophet's Day, and we're having a Prophet's Day celebration. You see it there on the screen right here in the temple, 715 North King Street. So, yeah, if you're available, you want a night of culture, unity, and celebration. Also, about 12 years ago, I believe, declared in Wilmington, Delaware, Moorish American Week. Moorish American Week begins on the 8th, ends on the 15th. That is proclaimed in Wilmington, Delaware. So, if you need to get off work, come proclaim your nationality. This is you are right. You're a Moorish American. If you think you're Negro, Black, or colored, you are Moorish American without a doubt or contradiction. So, celebrate with us. Kicking off Moorish American Week on the Prophet's Day celebration, January 8th, 7 p.m. The God hour we're starting.
The Holy Quran got a surah called the Spoils of War. And when they name, that's who we are. A lot of us as the spoils of war when you get that status, Negro, Black, and colored. I'm not that, right? But I'm just saying they treat you like the spoils of war. When you go in them courtrooms and the police lock you up and call you a prisoner, you're a prisoner for war for real. Then you come back like, they let you go, you like happy-go-lucky something. No, that's serious. That's serious. We must bring change. So, but if you don't study the law, you're going to trap yourself up. And I'm not talking about studying law against no one particular people. I study law against people that look like me. Because I'm always trying to be in the elevated places. Because when Shaitan, as he opened up the door leading us to hell, that's a place for real. That's where a lot of our people at. I'm not going there. That's why I went to Mecca and came back, because I received some light. I'm not going to let nobody leave me in the pit. This corporation, the whole United States is a pit. How you get up out of it? Study.
Most
That's right. Study
quick
research.
question. So should we not? Because something's been on my mind since you brought it up earlier in terms of hell. And I was just with my daughter at Christina Park just today, like just an hour before we were here, and she was in tears. She was scared. She's like, "Daddy, I'm scared because it's dark, it's windy, it's like so windy and it's cold, and we're literally walking into a bunch of tents."
Right.
And I'm like, I already met some of the brothers here. Please don't be scared. You're with me, first of all, so don't be scared. But when I was bringing propane tanks and propane and butane tanks to help them heat up their tents and cook and stuff during the cold weather. Go ahead. And I'm just
That's hell, Mo.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel the energy, especially at night. We've been there a few times this past week when it's cold.
You blessed for doing that.
I already know.
You gotta come and get me sometime, because
Yeah.
that's really that. He said the Bible said the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few.
Islam.
Labor, I like to labor with you, inshallah, I like that.
We did go out there on December 25th. We went out there with the Grand Governor. We were out there. We heard there were children out there. Praise Allah, there was no children anymore out there.
There's not.
There was no children anymore. 'Cause we brought toys out there, and unfortunately, there was no children.
I'm on a mission to help you feed people around like
That's
that.
good.
I'm the brother that like to talk that talk and walk that walk. I don't want to walk this life. I want to leave behind me my works. Some people think they ain't got to do no work. That's the biggest part. That's uplifting for all humanity.
Exactly. No, that's the prophet's work. So I don't think twice about that kind of stuff. There's a lot of other things that come up in life that makes it tough to, be able to constantly do that. Not to mention it costs money. Is you can't just, I have to work.
I want to go to prisons too.
But as long as you do your part,
Yeah.
I believe that everybody should do a good deed every day. And like I said, charity can be just a kind word.
Exactly.
Because charity doesn't always mean money or anything.
Right.
Charity means it means a sacrifice from yourself to another, basically.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said that as water extinguished fire, so does charity extinguish sin. Then he said, follow a good deed, bad deed up with a good deed, and it will wipe the bad deed away.
Because you don't want to be building up negative karma. You want to build up good karma so that the gates will open for you, and the world that you never seen before will come to your feet.
That what you just shared with me right there, that's hell for real. That ain't a state of mind.
Yeah, it's a place, and we were there.
It's the state of mind that got them there, so it is a state of mind.
I'm just saying what you just described to me. I just seen. I know I'm not there.
Yeah,
that's hell to me. I wouldn't want to be there. I'm always struggling to stay away
because
from
you made
that.
the right choices. You made choices that didn't get you there.
But
and if you did get there,
I'm saying hell is a location too.
If you did go there, you would know what choices to make to get you out of there, right?
But I've been there.
Yeah, well,
I've been there.
We all been to hell
with a certain lifestyle that I don't indulge in no more.
Right, that's good.
Certain people, like they say, people, places, and things, and people of different frequencies, right, will lead you into that.
Well, you came out of it, though. You came out of it.
I'm still fighting to stay up out of it.
Yeah, well, that's good, but they're still in it.
So that's part of why I brought that up was you were saying you don't want to go back to hell essentially, and I'm saying should we not go to save our people though?
I didn't say it like that.
Okay, I get what you're saying then.
Well,
I didn't say. Well, I'm saying you have to be swift. You have to use that third eye. See, a lot of people don't use the third eye because they don't have vision. Jesus comes to open that third eye up so you can go in, because the Moorish Americans said the highest heights are gained by those who reach the greatest depths. Sometimes you got to go into the greatest depths and come back out.
Yeah.
But you go there every day. Every day when you see a person homeless on the street or a person asking you for a quarter or a dime, that you're there. You're in there.
Yeah, we in the belly of the well right now.
You have to be there in order to pull somebody out.
Yeah.
That's exactly, and this is real
But there's degrees.
Islam.
There's degrees of the pit. This we're in the bottomless pit now.
Yeah,
So,
and we picked this location that was one of the reasons we picked this location. We're right here in downtown, 715 North King Street, and we're in
the belly of the well.
We really are in the belly of it, and you see homeless, you see the less fortunate walking right by the door constantly. So our doors are open, not all the time, but we're here, and when we are here, our doors are open. Whether you need some food, we have a Ring doorbell out front, and this Caucasian lady pressed that button about a month ago, and she was just like, I need help, I need help, and she was like frantic, and I actually was not far away, so I just drove by. I was like, hey, I saw you, and she wasn't here anymore, but she was like around the corner, and I seen her. I was like, hey, you press that button, the button says it's for Moor Culture Center. What did you need help with? Like, what was it? She's like, I just really needed $1 or something, she said. I was like, all right, here you go. And she just looks like, she was like, wow, like I pressed the button and this guy just from me $1.
That's right.
And
it's all a test.
yeah,
right.
It's all a test. Even when you hate people, that's all a test.
yeah,
When people do something to you, it's all a test. Because the angels are recording all your actions.
yeah,
Your actions, in the end, right? Your deeds going to be weighed, right? And we pray, inshallah, that the good deeds outweigh the bad.
Islam. A lot of
that's karma too.
something that I'm gonna say it out loud, and I've heard other people say this too, so I know I'm not the only one. When you see a Caucasian homeless person, you're less likely to want to reach in your pocket to help them out because you're like, hey, you have plenty of chances, brother.
I help them sometimes.
Yeah, well, I told you about that story.
Sometimes because that don't know no color.
No, you're right, bro.
When I see that, it knows feeling.
No, you're right.
I have empathy. I don't want to be there, so I might. People. A lot of times, people don't give and stuff like that and do what they're supposed to do. Then they trade places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, like I.
Did you
a
feel
lot of
some
time-
kind of way because she was Caucasian?
No, I didn't think twice about it. I just know she pressed the button knowing it was at Moor Culture Center and she needed help with something. So I felt the urge to help. I didn't think about.
Well, I help more melanated people than I help Caucasians, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On a normal day-to-day basis, I mean, there's plenty of times where I see a brother on a corner and I'll give him $1, but I won't do the same when I see a Caucasian all the time.
Sometimes I don't help.
Yeah.
Sometimes I give, but sometimes I don't help.
Yeah. We can always. It's hard to help everybody. There's so many people out here that need help. It's really impossible.
Right, and some people you help that take advantage of your help and want you to help and have you thinking that you're doing something when you're really just feeding the problem, basically. You know what I mean? And speaking about being downtown, we're in between the Masonic Hall over here and the courthouse right there.
Yep.
So always remember, whenever you see a courthouse, you're going to see a Masonic Hall not far from there. And then you'll see a church too.
The balls where they tie the slave ship.
Right. And then you'll see a church too. So their religion and their criminal justice system is all the same, and it's all Masonic.
Yeah. It's interesting to talk about separation of church and state in reality. What's separation? When you go, the first thing you do is put your hand on the Bible.
On the Bible. Right.
That's one of the biggest lies.
Yeah.
See, but we had to bring a lot of that to light. See, when you bring the devil to light, he'll run. He'll break camp, man.
He'll run.
He'll put on a pair of Nikes.
Well, they'll run so fast. You bring up that light, and you tell. See, truth is their kryptonite.
Because all they roll off is scare tactics.
Yeah, scare tactics and falsery.
So the people,
falsehoods.
A lot of our people is running to and fro the earth. They're on low frequency. But when you deal with people on high frequency and stuff, all they got to do is look at them. It's like shooting a laser beam at them.
Islam. We have to wrap it up. It's been over an hour.
Oh, we got one more video, right?
One more video. Let's close it out with the video. Well, we have a couple, right? We didn't even play. Well, okay. Here's
play which one you think is the best.
We'll close out with another one from that same Caucasian.
Now listen to what these videos are saying, because it's true, and you do your research and you'll find out that it's true.
We getting comments, well.
Oh, hold up. No, we're not live.
Years. They were built by the indigenous.
All right, racists.
Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black people. They weren't brought over by slaves. They are the original owners of America.
Let's address the most bizarre and telling obsession in racist America. The stupid, predictable, unhealthy fixation on where black Americans come from. You people are utterly consumed by their genealogy. You weird racist-ass people demand to know their origin. As if their existence is a mystery you're entitled to solve. Why? Why are you so invested in a family tree that isn't yours? Why does their lineage keep you up at night? It's simple. Because you have none of your own. And their truth is one that you wish was yours. Look at the choir of confusion singing this obsession. You have white Americans who are indigenous to nowhere, whose only claim to land is a boat and a gun, who have no origin story here except theft. And they are the loudest voices telling the true indigenous people where they belong. The irony is so thick, you could choke on it. You have Native Americans, or Siberians, who are Asians who crossed over on the same boats headed towards Ellis Island, still trying to convince the world that they sprung from this soil, even though their biology screams otherwise. If you are indigenous to a land, you are in harmony with its elements. The sun is not your enemy. You do not burn under its gaze. You match it. The true indigenous black Americans match the land because they are the land. Nature doesn't give you sun blisters. We only see that happening with one race of people. The black American connection is biological, not a story you tell on a census form. And you have others like Mexicans clinging to a colonial racial identity, or Africans who will claim kinship one minute and then deny their blackness the next minute. All of them projecting a profound confusion about who they are and where they belong as far as the copper-colored Americans. Your racist obsession with the beige boys' roots of the original people is a desperate attempt to uproot them. It's a confession. You are all spiritually and genetically homeless. You have no unbroken line to any soil on this planet. You are perpetual guests, and it terrifies you to look at the people who are so clearly, so undeniably the foundation. Being DIY amateur genealogists on TikTok is not a profession. You want desperately to tie black Americans to a continent across an ocean to make yourselves feel more native by comparison. And it won't work. Your obsession is just the spotlight you can't help but shine on your own lack of origin. While you're busy trying to map their bloodlines, you're just drawing a map to your own rootless, borrowed existence. Stop worrying about where they come from. They are here. But the real question...
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
The melanin in your body, Mo,
I'm hearing you, bro.
is the rays of the sun. It's also your wisdom.
Yeah, there's a lot of technology and different things decoded inside of your melanin. Melanin is very powerful, very powerful. So it's a gift that we have this melanin, and it's only the universe was created by the melanin, the darkness. First was darkness. So it's universal and natural. See, so whenever I mention universal, like universal law, that's natural law. That's nature's law. There's no more powerful law on this earth or in this universe than that there. So we have to make sure that we take care of our melanated gift and take care of our bodies, our temples, and make sure your temple is healthy, your diet is healthy. What do you call it, Mo?
Your livid.
Your liver is healthy, and then your mind will be healthy, and then you can rise to higher frequencies. Because being close to the plains, and those other people we used to call them Plains Indians, being close to the plains, you only can get so much frequency. But when you flying in the ethers and when you're traveling through the ethers, then that's when you get that universal knowledge and deal and tend to be on your higher self. And the lower self is in check. So do your research, do your studies, take care of your body, use your divine powers, and help us uplift fallen humanity. Peace.
Islam. Any final remarks, Brother Sharif?
Islam. I seek refuge in Allah from laziness and sloth and negardliness. O Allah, guide us amongst those whom thou hast guided aright. Preserve us amongst those whom thou hast preserved aright. Our Lord, lay not on us a burden as thou did lay upon those who were before us. Lay not on us a burden that we have not the strength to bear. Forgive us our sins, pour down us a spirit of steadfastness in religion, make firm our feet, grant us thy protection against those who reject faith. Amen. Islam.
I mean,
Islam. Until next time, we're signing off. Visit us, moorculturecenter.com, 715 North King Street. I'm going to close out with the image on the screen for Prophet's Day celebration. I hope to see you all there. Islam.
Islam.
Peace.
Amen.
Peace.